Hey, Wagwan. It's your boy Alexander King Kwame from Houdini Studios, and today we are gonna test two crazy, amazing softwares, Houdini and Unreal Engine, Pyro FX and Niagara. Okay, we are gonna test these two softwares, and it's all about explosion effects. Okay, so now you see two videos playing on the screen on your screen right now. We have A and we have B. Now one is from Houdini and one is from Unreal Engine. Now just drop in the comments which one you think is from Unreal Engine. Is it video A or footage B? I mean, which footage do you think is from Houdini and which one do you think is from Unreal Engine? Okay, and you gotta stick with me to the end of the video so you will know which one is from Houdini and which one is from Unreal Engine. Okay, just stick with me. Okay, guys, we are gonna start with Houdini, and I'm gonna open the project I did in Houdini, the explosion project. Okay, okay, so we are in Houdini and it's loading. Um, yeah, it's taking some time. Okay, yeah. So this is Solaris. How do they pronounce it? Solaris, like Solaris. Okay, so this is Solaris, and actually, I'm not gonna do this from scratch because this video is gonna take a while. So I've already done the project, and I'm gonna just go over it. Okay, so we are in Solaris. I mean, I rendered it with camera. I did a render with camera. So we just go to the object, and I have my geo node here. You just drop a geo node, just a simple geo node, just like this. You just drop a geo node, and this is the fire. Okay, so right now you just need this simple setup. It's just a Pyro GPU, blah blah blah. Don't be like me. Don't be blah blah blah. It's just type GPU, and you're gonna have this one. Just Pyro configure GPU ground explosion. Just choose this one, okay? Choose this one. And now when you drop the node, you will have these um four setup. Okay, you can see here. We have these four setups here. Okay, it's nothing scary. Okay, it's nothing scary. Okay, so back into the explosion. Now, um, this is just a pyrobake volume. I use this for rendering. Okay, and this right here is a transform node. I use this for animating. The pyro, the ones, the one that you saw at the start of the video, they were rotating. Okay, it's just drop a dollar F multiply by 5. Okay, it's simple. So guys, I didn't cash this one out, and it's really taking some time. Okay, and I don't want it to be like that. So let's just move backwards, and we're still in Solaris. It's cool. It's okay, and I will just view it in the Pyro solver. And what I'll do is I'll dive into the Pyro solver, and my voxel size I'll bring that up to maybe set it to the default. Revert to default. Okay, it's already one. Okay, maybe let me do 15, 0.15, and let's press play. I think minimal OpenCL, that's cool. Let's press play. Again, we have something. We have something going on. That is the explosion. Okay, the simple explosion. So you don't have to do anything. You just drop in the explosion. But okay, you can tweak settings here. Let me pause it. Let me pause the explosion. You can go into the pyro burst source, and you can tweak in settings here. The burst type, you can choose maybe it's explosion or muzzle flash, anything, and initial size, direction. You see, we have one. Okay, so the direction is one on the y-axis, and we have the spread angle. You can just tweak these settings and get a different type of effect. Okay, a different type of explosion. Now, mostly what I usually do is um, when you don't understand something, it doesn't work all the time. But what you can do is, let's say for the sprint angle, I can just take everything off. And now, when I play the explosion, okay, so you would easily identify what the spread angle was doing, um, how the spread angle was affecting the explosion. Okay, okay, and we can set it to default again, revert to default, and we will play it again. And now you can see how just the spread angle was affected. It doesn't work for every like just for everything, but most times, I mean, it's perfect to just take something off and just see how that parameter affects everything. Okay, so that you actually this node, this Pyro burst source controls the overall shape of your explosion. Yeah. So yeah, and I think I did a render in the voxel size one, I believe. Yeah, that was one. You can really go like crazy downwards. Okay, and this is the Pyro big volume. I won't let it cook. I'll just Okay, this is the Pyro big volume, and again, I'm gonna take my. Let me actually do it too. It's gonna load the quality, but again, as I said, this right here is how it's gonna render the node that you're gonna use to render. We have these parameters here, and you have to tweak these settings to get the desired explosion that you are going for. The smoke, the scatter, and the fire. These three. We have secondary fire. Yeah, there are tutorials on these kind of things, but maybe I'll do a tutorial about this one too. Okay, so the most important nodes, I mean parameters are just the smoke, scatter, and the fire. And when we hit play, okay, it's actually working. Okay, so yeah, this is just the simple explosion setup. Just a simple explosion setup. Again, I will just bring my voxel size to 1. Yeah, oh, yeah, it's taking some time to load. And yeah, I just brought in this transform node again, as I said it, for the rotation animation. And let's go. I took everything into Solaris, uh, Solaris, and I did the render with camera. Okay, so should I go over this one? Okay, these are disabled. This one is actually the explosion, and I dropped a render geometry setting for a velocity blur and motion blur. And this is the material, merge node, merge and everything. And this right here is okay, this is um a simple box I for loop development. Just yeah, this one. Just this box. Not a box, I mean a curvy kind of thing, mostly for I use this mostly for loop development, a curvy kind of thing. And that's this one. And I dropped the material node on this one. And I used an HDRI from Polyhaven. So I'm gonna just click it on this and let's just see. So this is let me just bring it down. So this is just the HDRI, okay, from Polyhaven. And also I used an area light, okay, and just added a camera and I did a render in camera. Just simple. It's just a simple kind of thing. And you just output your renders and you have it, okay. So yes, again, I'm not gonna show you which one was Houdini again. Let's just jump into Unreal Engine and let's deal with Niagara 2. Okay? Okay, so we are in Unreal Engine, and I think far by now you know which one is from Houdini and which one is from Unreal Engine. But you gotta still stick with me because I got some tips in here for you guys. And my scene is, oh no, I'm not moving it. I'm having a laggy scene because um my resolution max axis is 300 and I want to take it down to the default 192, and now we don't have a laggy scene. We can move in smoothly. Okay, so let's dive into the Niagara explosion system. Okay, to actually start with Niagara, you have to create a Niagara FX. You can just do it by Niagara system or in FX. So mostly you gotta do it in the Niagara system. But before you do that, you have to go to settings, plugin, and type in Niagara, and you have to um, take this one out. These ones, Chaos Niagara, Niagara Fluids. You just have to bring them to life. Okay, and you know Unreal Engine will tell you to restart. You know it's a normal thing. So when you do that, then you can bring out Niagara. So you just go to the Niagara system and you go to copy existing system. No, sorry, you go to new system from a template or behavior example, and you click next, and you can just take select wherever you want. So this is what I use, the grade 3D gas explosion sign. Is that right? Actually, this is mostly, I believe this is mostly for cinematics. Yeah. So I will not select that because I already have it. And yes, let's dive into the parameter. Now, when I dive into the parameter, my scene will start lagging. And okay, it's not lagging. Okay, but it can happen to you. It can happen to you. So this right here is the real explosion that you will be dealing with. Your real Niagara explosion. Now this one here is lagging. Okay, it's normal for this one here to lag, but this will be your real scene explosion. Now I told you guys to stick with me because there are some things that you have to know about the Niagara explosion. Now one is we have the scene and bounding box. Let me show you just right quick. We have this world space size. This is for the scene. Now, this right here is also different. The bounded box here is also different. The bounded box here is not the same as the one here. I'm sorry. Yes, the one here. And if you don't know this, this will give you a tremendous headache when you are trying to render, because when you're trying to render and you don't have the same exact size, world space size that's here, if that doesn't tally with the one that's here, you're gonna have a headache. When you try to render, you will have a different kind of explosion. So to do that, you go in here, the new Niagara system, okay, and you scroll down here world space size. Now this world space size is for this one, which is not for this one. Okay, so it's two. They are two different um things altogether. So now I can just let me just take this one down to something like um let's just do 800. Okay, and you see the bounding box has changed, but when we go in here, the bounding box hasn't changed. It's still the same. Okay, so you now understand what I was talking about. Okay, let's just Control Z um and just undo that. And also, when you just start your Niagara explosion, you see it will only let me just show you what you just start with. You start with once. So what this will do is you just have a one-time explosion. Okay, let's just see a one-time explosion, and that will be it. It won't explode again. Okay, maybe that's the effect you are going for. It's okay. It won't explode again. You see, so for it to keep exploding, you have to place that at infinite, and it will keep exploding. Now there are a bunch of parameters here, a bunch of them, and I think that will be for another tutorial because this is almost getting out of hand. It's almost taking longer than I thought. So I'll just dive into a few parameters. Now the sphere radius is um how big you want your explosion to be. That's the beginning of the explosion. That's the radius of your explosion. So I can just let me dive view a little bit, go in a little bit, and I can just change this to like 1, and you'll see it will get smaller. It's really tiny. It's really tiny here. So let me do something like 7, and you really see. Okay, so it's really coming back to life. So we can do something like 15 or 16, sorry, and we will really have a big kind of explosion. Okay, there we go. Now it was already at 10. Let me place it at 10. And here is one these parameters. You really want to play with these parameters. The curl noise, force small, force large, force density, and with noise you really want to play with these parameters and see what every parameter is doing. Mostly you can try to turn these off and just see what one is doing, what the other is not. But I don't really actually recommend it because you can actually turn it off and leave one and you work on one and you realize when you bring them all them back on, um it wasn't the effects you were after. So just turn them all on and tweak them certain by certain. Okay, I think that really works best for me. And let me just see. Okay, let's get into the fire. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go over the density. The density multiplier mostly deals with the smoke. Yeah, the smoke icon, and is yeah, the density multiplier actually deals with the smoke and it's actually 0.5. So I didn't want much smoke in my explosion. And the temperature deals with the fire. Okay, temperature multiplier 35.0. That was okay for me. There are a lot of parameters here. Again, a lot of parameters. A lot of parameters. So actually, I will do a tutorial about these whole parameters. Okay, I'll really do a tutorial about this whole thing. So mostly the kernel noise actually gives you the type of explosion. I mean, this the size of explosion. I mean, how you want your shape of explosion to be. You can really control these in the kernel noise. Okay, so yes, these are just the little parameters I can go over. There are a lot of parameters. Okay, I will actually do a tutorial about this one. And yes, this is our explosion. Let me just dive into our camera. Okay, this is what you saw at the beginning of the video. So this one was from is from Unreal Engine, and the other one, I mean this one, is from Houdini. Now there are some pros and cons here. One is Houdini lags. Houdini keeps lagging because of your voxel size. You know, Houdini keeps lagging. Yeah, and one big benefit about Unreal Engine in real time. Now, this is the problem here. Real time is the problem here, the big problem here. Because in Houdini, you have to just, when you are done with it, you do look development and um, it's progressive rendering. It really takes time. It really takes time. But comparing to Unreal Engine um, is in real time and you know what you're getting from this from the scratch. Okay, but with Houdini, you just, I mean, have to keep working on in every stage, keep working in every stage, and that's the power of real time. That's the real power of real time. I think if Houdini can bring up real time, that's gonna be one big, I mean, boomer for the industry, and also for both simulations. Yes, both can be used in cinematics. Now I'm leaving it to you guys. Which one do you think is the best? I don't want to judge here. I really like both explosions. They are different in their own ways. But I'm gonna leave it to you guys. Which one are you mostly into? Is it the Houdini or is it Niagara? Okay, so just let me know in the comment section which one do you think you really like best and which one do you think is gonna work for more cinematic shots. So just drop it in the comment section, and thank y'all for sticking with me to the end of the video. You guys are really amazing. Thank y'all. And yes, I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace, peace, peace. I'm out.